Family. Today we're going to speak about why fragrance reviewers always changing their mind about a fragrance. 1 minute is good, 1 minute is bad. 1 minute they're saying, yo man, this is a rock star, you gotta buy it. And the next minute you hear them say, oh, I sold that fragrance, man, I don't like it. You know, I think that happens because people want to push out content, or they hear other content creators, amping something up and making it, yeah, it's the shit. And then you go along and buy it and go right along with it. But then when you actually start wearing it, you're like, ugh. That's why I'm going to give you a piece of advice, fragrance reviewers. Watch it, spray your stuff, wear it before you drop a video, or do like my boy Robes Away. This is a sample, and I'm just giving you my first impressions. These are not my last impressions. These are not my permanent, like, what I really think about it, because it's just the first impressions. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna show you some fragrances here, guys, that I think, if, let's say, I would have started my YouTube, journey without honing into my skills, which I'll explain to you in a minute. I'm going to show you these fragrances. If I didn't hone into my skills, I probably would have made the same mistake a lot of reviewers do. Let me show you. See these fragrances, guys, right here I'm showing you? These fragrances, some of them I did not understand 100%, or when I smelt them, I just couldn't get all the notes down. So it's either I couldn't get all the notes to process in my brain, or I couldn't understand what I was smelling. And that's the main reason why I see people dislike something. That's why it's good to wear it before you make a final decision, And there are, some good fragrance reviewers out there that I want to purchase stuff from. But what I wanted to say was, before I get into all of that, was the reason why I don't make those mistakes on my channel is because before I started my channel, I really honed in on my skills. I really wore everything that I have. I didn't purchase fragrances for maybe like a year to 2 years, just so I could hone in on my skills and actually wear what I have. Because the way I was purchasing, I couldn't wear nothing I was having. I was just buying couple bottles every month. It was insane. So there was no way for me to actually, give a good assessment of anything I had. So I had to sit back, not purchase, wear everything, and then make a YouTube channel. And that's why you don't see that here. But I wanted to bring this up because hopefully reviewers that watch me, or people who are not reviewers that are watching me, can understand why some reviewers make these mistakes. It's just sometimes, they say, like, you started a fragrance collection, you have 100 bottles, and you're like, hey, I want to start a channel. I feel you. But sometimes you need to just wear everything, understand everything, so that way when you put out content, you never have to go back too much and eat your words. You know what I'm saying? So there are a few reviewers that I want to purchase from, so they could earn my trust, and they've made me believers in some fragrances that I wasn't really looking at, and I'll explain to you who I mean. So let's say I want to buy from Nichane called Mana. When I do purchase that, I'm going to give my boy Tazo, the reviewer, a big shout out. Because of him, I'm purchasing that. Pegasus exclusive, been out for a while, but nobody's really swayed me to buy that except one guy, Terribly Tough. So when I purchased that, I'm giving him a shout out. Another good reviewer, man, I really like this dude. He's a solid dude, man. He's called Make It Make Sense, Beers and Scents, I think, something like that. He has 2 colognes I just seen him drop. One is called Noble, from this house. It's called Noble, the actual fragrance. It's a fougere, and I've been looking at that brand years ago. I never purchased none because I couldn't get it in the States. It was like hard to get, but it's available now. He got it, and I want that fougere. I want it. I've heard good things about it, and him talking about it convinced me to want to buy it. And there's another thing he has. I love plum. I love plum. It's a fragrance he has from Van Buren. I don't know what it's called. Make it make sense? You know what I'm talking about. If you're watching this, leave it in the comments. It has plum and some type of whiskey, rum, some type of alcohol in it with plum. I know the bottle, what it looks like, and when I see it, I'm going to purchase it. I love plum. You know, so, and when I do purchase either one of those two fragrances, I'm giving him a shout out, right? I like to do that. If any reviewer that I'm cool with, you know, helps me buy a fragrance, I give them a shout out, you know? And speaking about someone that helped me purchase a fragrance that has earned my trust, he has earned my trust, and he was really my first YouTube friend as a reviewer. You know, like reviewer, he was my first friend on YouTube. And that's my boy Suit and Sense. Hold on 1 minute, family. Suit and Sense, like I said, I'm back. He recommended me to buy this fragrance, B9, from Bond number 9. Now, when I saw him with a tester, he had like a 10 mil tester, and he was saying how good this was, and when his 10 mil runs out, he's buying this. So I asked him, is it worth it? Is it really good? He said, yeah, fam, this is a CCL, fam. And CCL means, between me and him, Cologne Collection Lifts. That's what we bring to you guys. Cologne Collection Lifts. Not a BBL. Don't do that, guys. Do this and go to the gym. So when he recommended this to me, you know, when I first got it in, I took a little time to get to know the fragrance. You know, that's the way it works for me. Got a little time. Man, I got compliments. This smells amazing. I love it. This B9 is the bomb for me. Love it. Get a sample, guys, if you want. This is an outstanding fragrance. Very unisex. And see, when somebody earns your trust like he did, he earned my trust. You know, he also mentioned to me about buying some from the house of Amouage. And Amouage came out with this fragrance called Royal Tobacco. And right here's the sample. Now, he told me to buy it before I got this sample. And you know what? Here's the crazy part. When I got the sample, I wasn't a fan of the incense in here. But let me tell you something. If I would have took his advice, right? Because he earned my trust. If I would have took his advice and just bought the fragrance, like without even getting the sample, I would have been happy because I'm going to buy the bottle anyway. You see, as I got to sample this fragrance, I discovered a plum note. Like I said, I love plum. There's a plum note in here, and I'm buying this fragrance. And it's different. It's different than all my tobacco fragrances. That's another key thing for me. Do I think it's the best tobacco Amouage has? No. But it's different from every other tobacco I have. And it has plum. And I love it. And let me just get back to one thing before I close the show here. Big shout out to my boys, fragrance connoisseurs. I wanted to mention, I didn't mention before, I'm going to get 2 bottles because of his son, Nate the Great. Nate the Great got me wanting to buy my first By Killian, Pearl Oud. I'm getting that. And there was one more bottle he had that he really put me on to. I got to go back to the video to see what it's called. And I'm getting that. And that's what I mean about reviewers. When you watch them, you want to learn something, whether you're a reviewer or not. You want to be able to look at that guy and him give you the right advice that you need. So family, if you're a reviewer and you kind of jump from ship to ship on fragrances, my advice is sit back, do your homework on the fragrance before you make a video and before you make a judgment call. So that way, you know, you don't look bad to people, you know, and you keep face, you know what I'm saying? And people can trust you and your channel keeps growing. And to the people watching reviewers who make this mistake, I would say cut them some slack a little bit, because when you're constantly getting fragrances, and you're pushing out content, maybe the mind slips, they smell something new, they think this is the best, and it happens. So family, all I want to say is fragrances is love, and love is fragrances. Praise to the Most High. You know how we do. Health is wealth. We stay fly. We do all these things. Man Cologne channel. Stay in the gym. Stay in the gym. Family. Stay looking fresh. And I'm out of here. Peace.